guys, it's Sydney. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So first of all, I just wanted to say that this actually is my first YouTube video. I used to have a YouTube, but I just don't really use it anymore, so I ended up getting rid of it, and I'm just kind of starting fresh. So today, I wanted my first YouTube video to be a story time. So I'm gonna tell you guys about the time that I actually almost died in a haunted house because I got such a bad concussion because I smacked my face. Back when I lived in Illinois, around Halloween time, there was always a ton of haunted houses in Chicago. So me and my friends decided that we were gonna go to a haunted house one night. It was super cold outside. As you know, if you live in Illinois or the Midwest, it's really freaking cold. Now that I live in Arizona, it's really hot, so I love Halloween. But back then, the only thing we could really do was stand outside of haunted houses for about an hour, freezing our asses off, and then go inside the haunted house and then go home. Because you can't really hang out because it's just so cold in October. I went to this haunted house. I don't remember the name of it. It was me, my next door neighbor, and her younger brother. And she was a year older than me, and her younger brother was a year younger than me. So it's kind of like like youngest, middle, older. And we grew up together, so we were really close, and I knew it was gonna be an awesome time. And then we get to the haunted house. We wait about an hour to actually go in because this was like the bee's knees of haunted houses. Like, this place was scary as shit. Supposedly, they would take one of your group members on their own and then make the other group members leave them, and like you would kind of get separated and someone would get like grabbed or whatever, and they would take the other group members. So anyway, I was terrified. I naturally am super terrified all the time. I sleep with my nightlight on. I just, you know, I'm really like, I'm a scaredy cat. I watch Stranger Things and that really scared the absolute living fuck out of me. Like, I just get scared really easily. We finally, it's our turn to go into the haunted house, and we're walking through, and you know, it's scary, it's dark, you're going around corners, and like people are jumping out and screaming at you, and lights are flashing, and then they're not flashing, and it's super awful, and I'm terrified, so I'm holding both of their hands like, this is where I die, like this is it. Little did I know. So we get to this point, and this guy, I think he was dressed in like a clown costume, but it was kind of raggedy, like almost like Scarecrow, kind of like the, you know, the comic book figure, the Scarecrow. Like it, he was scary looking, but almost like a clown. Like, I don't know, like a burlap sack bag, but he still kind of looked like a clown. And when we entered this room and he was standing there, he was doing the typical clown stuff, like laughing and like getting really close to you and like breathing in your ear and like going around you, just being like generally fucking creepy, right? So once we're in this room, it's just us three. The people behind us hadn't made it yet, and the people in front of us were already gone. So it's just us three in this dimly lit fucking room. And in the middle of this room, there is kind of like a cage just big enough to fit me. Yep, you fucking guessed it. Just big enough to fit me. And of course, this guy like grabs me and throws me in this fucking cage, and I am screaming, like screaming at the top of my fucking lungs, screaming. And my friend and her brother were kind of just like, what do we do? Like, is this part of the haunted house? Like, how does this happen? And mind you, while this is going on, I'm sitting here thinking, great, this is where I die. Like, he's a creep. He came in. He's trying to murder me. Like, I didn't even know they were allowed to touch you. Also, little disclaimer, this was about 6 or 7 years ago, so I was still pretty young. Honestly, I think I was like 7th or 8th grade, maybe, probably around 7th grade. So the house, I don't know if they could grab you, but they did. So they grabbed me and they put me in this cage, and the guy ushered these people into the next room, and they're like, we don't want to leave her, like, you can't put her in a cage, like, I don't even think you can touch her. And he was just being generally like creepy, like laughing and being a weird fucking haunted house person that works there. So the clown guy ushers them out of the room, and I'm sitting there trapped in this fucking cage. And of course he's being really fucking scary, like I said a million times, because I'm terrified. He's taking this tin can and like ting 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 like on the cage bars, and I'm sitting in this cage like this, about to start fucking crying because I am terrified. He's like, do you want out? Do you want out? And I'm like, yes, I want out. Get me out. Like, I'm going to pee my pants. I am terrified. Get me out of this fucking hellhole. Like, I'm not enjoying this anymore. And he's like, okay, and like undoes the little latch on the gate, opens it up, and here's me. I see, as soon as that gate opens, I see my fucking getaway. Boom, I sprint full speed out of this fucking cage, trying, like, following where I thought I had seen them go. And I'm running, this guy's chasing the fuck after me, so I'm hightailing this knees to chest bitch out of here, right? And when I'm going, I see this part where you have to crawl. It's like a hallway and a dead end, and at the bottom of the right hand side of the hallway, there's this place you have to crawl, and there's an arrow pointing to it, and this dimly lit little fucking like light bulb over it, like you can barely see anything. And so I see this, I'm like, yep, crawl time, here I go, this is it. So I see this crawl spot coming, and I'm going for it, and I kinda am like, am I gonna make this? Like, this is really fucking low to the ground. I needed to get like on my elbows and my knees and like army crawl this bitch. So I'm going, and as I'm like about to go down and crawl my full speed, like Usain Bolt, 27 fucking miles I think is his record or whatever. So I'm going, and as I'm trying to crawl under this thing and make it, I just didn't quite make it. I smacked my head so fucking hard, I fell back to the ground. I'm laying there for only about a split second, but I hit my head so hard, to me, I like didn't know what was going on. The clown guy was like, I could feel him still behind me, but I'm sure at this point he saw me smack my face and was like, fuck, like, she's gonna sue us. So I smack my face, I'm laying there, and I snap up really quick, and I'm like, ugh, and I crawl through this thing. I reach the other side, I get up, I'm holding my head, and I'm like, that really fucking hurt. Oh my god, my head hurts, my eyes hurt, I don't feel good. And as I'm walking through this little hallways, it's dimly lit, I finally enter another room, and I find my friend and her brother. And I'm holding my head, and she's like, are you okay? Oh, I smacked my head, I think I'm okay, it just hurts really bad, I'm sure it's fine. And she takes out her phone light and flashes it on my face, and sure enough, through my little fucking fingers is just massive amounts of blood pouring from my face, all down my cheek, all on my neck, on my clothes, over my eye. And I take off my hand so she can look at it, and I shit you not, it was about the size of a fucking golf ball on my face. Props to you, clown dude. You made me smack my fucking face. As I pull my hand away and she's looking at this giant golf ball on my face, she's like, that looks really fucking bad. And I'm feeling it, and I'm like, it feels pretty fucking bad. After that happens, I'm standing there, and she's looking at me, and we're all kind of like, well, fuck, what do we do? Like, that's a good amount of blood. And as you know, head wounds bleed pretty fucking bad, so the cut itself wasn't that bad, but head wounds bleed like they just do, so that's why I was covered in fucking blood. And someone who works there, who was probably about to scare us in a minute, must have saw what was going on when we turned on our flashlights, and they came out and they looked at us, and she looked at me, this little like doll thing, and she was like, are you okay? Do you need to go? And I'm like, honestly, I think so, like this is bleeding a lot. And she's like, okay, let me radio it in. So she goes back to her little hiding spot, she gets a fucking radio, and she's like, hey, we had someone hit their head, like, can you turn the lights on in like this section or whatever, and like we need to take her out. And you hear them radio back like, yeah, okay, whatever. So they take me through these secret passageways, we go to this back room, there's a bunch of people there like putting on makeup and stuff, like workers, obviously. And these guys come, this little like medical team, and they're looking at it, and they're telling me that I should probably get this checked out because it looks pretty bad. He said, do you need us to call anyone for you? And I was like, no, my friend's parents drove, they're actually outside, like they're gonna come get us, we'll just go home with them, like it's no big deal. And the guy was like, well, I'm really sorry that happened. Like, he was trying to be really nice because I'm assuming he thought I was gonna sue them. But honestly, like, that didn't even go through my mind. Like, it really fucking didn't at the time. Like, I'm like, what, 12 or something? I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna sue them and get money. Like, I just didn't think about that. We go outside, and the guy, as we're leaving, runs up to me and he's like, hey, here's a free t-shirt for you. Here's a free t-shirt for you. I got a free t-shirt for getting a fucking concussion in the haunted house. Like, awesome. Yep, it was fucking great. Long story short, at the end of it, I went home. I didn't feel good. I went to the emergency room the next day. I did have a concussion, and they said it was pretty bad. Luckily, there was no, like, brain swelling or anything like that. My mom had to wake me up, like, every 3 hours. I was on some medication or something, some anti-nausea, because I didn't feel good. And yeah, if I would have smacked my head a little bit harder, I probably would have fucking died. So, that's the story about when I almost died inside of a haunted house. So guys, I hope that you like my story. If you do, please definitely comment, like, subscribe, share me with your friends. I'm trying to start a bunch of videos. Hopefully I'm going to be filming about every week. So if you have any suggestions, definitely let me know.